When I opened the drawer to retrieve my journal, a letter slipped out, handwritten, my name on the front. Lucas's handwriting. I hadn't seen it before. I shouldn't have read it, but I did. "You're the calm in my chaos," it said. "I'm sorry for seeing you. I'm even sorrier for needing you." And just like that, I realized this didn't begin last night. It began long before either of us had the courage to say it out loud. The city throbbed with a wild energy, its neon lights casting a glow that danced across the glass walls of the penthouse. Olivia stood there, heart racing, fingers trembling as they brushed against the door handle, caught between desire and hesitation. Her heart raced, a wild beat echoing the tumult of the city that thrummed beneath the moonlit sky. The night unfolded in a haze of clinking glasses and sultry laughter, a reckless abandon ignited by too many martinis, each moment charged with an unspoken thrill. Her senses danced in chaos, balance wavering as she crossed the threshold, the cool marble beneath her feet a stark reminder of the heat coursing through her veins. The crimson dress she wore, elegant and daring, hugged her frame with grace, as if it sensed the importance of this night. It was a dress that whispered secrets, a choice that felt thrilling yet perilous, as if it had sensed the night would bring her to this moment. Elena's breath caught in her throat as she glimpsed the digital clock on the mantel, its red glow piercing through the silence, like a watchful gaze judging her every move. She squinted, the numbers swirling into a haze, whispering secrets of her reckless heart. The city's night whispered secrets, honking taxis, distant sirens, while she stood lost, heart racing in the shadows. She felt the weight of solitude, believing she was the only one there, until a shadow flickered in the soft glow of the foyer. Lucas appeared, his presence both shocking and strangely comforting. His dark eyes held hers, intense and unwavering, as he moved across the room with a sense of urgency. Before she could voice her hesitation, his arms enveloped her, strong and achingly familiar, drawing her away from the precipice of uncertainty. The warmth of his hands on her waist stirred a wave of emotion through her, conflicting and undeniable. It wasn't merely the warmth of the summer breeze or the effects of the drink. It was an undeniable connection, a secret longing that stirred within us. Elena's heart raced as Lucas led her to her room, his touch a mix of safety and irresistible allure. She felt the fabric of her dress shift, a whisper of lace peeking out, catching the soft glow of the moonlight that spilled into the room. Her voice trailed off as his presence grew steadier, reassuring, like someone trying to carry her toward calm. Every step felt electric, the softness of the carpet beneath her feet contrasting with the undeniable heat radiating from Lucas's body pressed against her. The air was thick with his cologne, a heady mix that wrapped around them like a secret, intoxicating and forbidden. As they entered her room, she sank onto the bed, exhaustion overtaking her, with thoughts racing and questions left unspoken. Lucas knelt to help remove her heels, his gestures gentle, as if handling something fragile. His touch was a whisper of warmth, stirring something deep within her, a mix of longing and uncertainty that left her breathless. As he stood to go, Elena's fingers wrapped around his wrist, a spark of desperation in her touch. "Stay," she breathed, her voice a delicate plea, suspended in the charged silence between them. Lucas's gaze locked onto hers, a storm of emotions swirling within him. For a fleeting heartbeat, she believed he might surrender, that the electric pull between them would spark into something more, but he stepped back, his voice barely a whisper, heavy with restraint. "You need to rest, Elena." As he stepped away, her heart raced, caught in a whirlwind of longing and bittersweet freedom. As she sank into the silk sheets, her dress twisting around her waist, she surrendered to sleep, her dreams weaving through shadowed corridors and stolen moments. Deep within her heart, she felt the night had ignited a spark that could never be extinguished. The morning light slipped through the delicate curtains, wrapping the room in a warm, golden embrace, illuminating the tangled sheets that held secrets of a night too fleeting. Olivia stirred, her body heavy with the weight of last night's secrets, her head pulsing with the bittersweet echo of too many stolen moments. The cool sheets reminded her of the intensity that had filled the night just hours before. Memories of that night flooded back, glimmers of city lights, Lucas's reassuring hands, the way his touch had left an imprint on my skin. A shiver coursed through her, a blend of warmth for his tenderness and a flutter of anxiety over the lines they had nearly crossed. She quietly slipped from the bed, her bare feet, whispering against the cool floor as she made her way to the ensuite bathroom. The hot spray of the shower welcomed her, a fleeting sanctuary from the world outside. As the water poured over her, she shut her eyes and let the steam blur the lines of thought and memory. Clad in a delicate silk robe, Olivia glided into the kitchen, the stillness of the penthouse heightening the whirlwind of emotions within her. The comforting routine of brewing coffee wrapped around her like a warm embrace, grinding beans, slicing bread, and delicately arranging the table, each movement laced with unspoken longing. Yet beneath the surface of her daily routine, her heart raced at the thought of facing Lucas, a thrill laced with danger. She crafted poached eggs with an artist's touch, the vivid colors of avocado and cherry tomatoes a momentary escape from the tension that lingered between them. As she whispered Lucas's name, her voice quivered, revealing the delicate facade she desperately tried to maintain. He stepped inside, his dark hair a wild mess, eyes filled with unspoken secrets. In that fleeting moment, their gazes locked, a quiet understanding sparking in the air, hinting at something deeper, something they both knew they shouldn't pursue. The soft clink of cutlery against plates broke the silence, a haunting sound in the charged atmosphere. Olivia set her fork down, her heart racing with a mix of determination and longing. "Lucas, we have to discuss what happened last night," she said, her voice calm, but her heart raced with unspoken feelings. He glanced up, a flicker of tension in his jaw. "I understand," he replied, his voice steady. "But let's have something to eat first. We'll need our energy for what comes next." She agreed, taking a sip of her coffee, the bitter flavor grounding her in the moment. They shared a meal in hushed tones, the tension of their hidden feelings hanging heavily in the air. Olivia stole glances at Lucas, her heart racing as she yearned to uncover the secrets hidden behind his gaze. His attention to the meal was a barrier, yet she knew she had to break through. "Last night," she said softly, placing her cup on the table, "it wasn't just the drinks. Something shifted between us, Lucas, something we can't pretend didn't happen." His eyes met hers for a fleeting moment, a hint of exhaustion betraying his composed facade. "What is there to say, Elena?" he murmured, his grip on the coffee mug growing firmer. She leaned back, her gaze locked onto his, a spark of something unspoken hanging in the air between them. "I was reckless," she confessed, her voice a whisper yet resolute. "And you were my anchor. But I saw a spark in your eyes, Lucas. Don't pretend you didn't feel it as well." Her words lingered, a daring tension electrifying the space between them. His cheeks burned, a vivid red that revealed the turmoil within him. "Elena," he whispered, his voice trembling, "I only wanted to be there for you." "You don't understand," she said, her casual demeanor betraying the storm of emotions within her. "I see you, even when you think you're hidden. The truth is undeniable." She lingered, her eyes piercing through him, relishing the tension that hung between them. "But perhaps we should take a step back for now. Let's come back to this when our hearts are less tangled." Lucas nodded, a wave of relief softening his expression. "Yeah, that's probably for the best," he whispered, a hint of longing in his voice. As Olivia slipped away to her room, a rush of exhilaration intertwined with a whisper of doubt. She had stirred something deep within him, but was it worth the risk? Alone, she lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling, wrestling with the thrill of the perilous game she was caught in. The excitement of crossing lines was exhilarating, yet the danger of tearing their family apart hung heavily in the air. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Olivia lost herself in the kitchen, the steady rhythm of chopping and the enticing sizzle of meat offering a fleeting escape from her racing heart. The kitchen was her sanctuary, a realm where she could wield power over the turmoil of her heart. Lucas lingered at the island, his gaze fixed on her with a mix of longing and uncertainty that sent shivers down her spine. His silence wrapped around her like a shroud, a barrier she yearned to penetrate. "You've been so quiet," she whispered, her voice slicing through the warm air of the kitchen, a hint of longing in her tone. His gaze locked onto hers, a fleeting shadow of unease crossing his features. "I was just lost in thought," he murmured, a hint of vulnerability in his voice. Olivia set down her knife, her hands trembling with a mix of relief and longing. "We can't ignore what happened last night, Lucas. Everything has changed, and we have to figure out what it means." The air was thick with unspoken feelings, her voice a whisper that ignited the stillness around them. She opened the drawer, her heart racing as she retrieved a bottle of gin and 2 delicate crystal tumblers, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Perhaps a drink will ease the tension between us," she whispered, pouring with a hint of urgency. The gin poured like a whispered secret in the stillness, a tantalizing blend of bravery and turmoil. As she passed him the glass, their fingers grazed, igniting a spark that left her breathless. As she lifted her glass, the warmth of the liquid coursed through her, anchoring her in the moment. Lucas took a slow sip, his gaze intensely fixed on her, a spark of something unspoken lingering in the air between them. "You're right," he whispered, a hint of longing in his voice. "We can't pretend this is okay. But I don't think drowning it in alcohol will help." Elena's fingers danced along the edge of her tumbler, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's not about the answers, Lucas. It's about the truth between us. Perhaps the gin will loosen our tongues." They shared a silence that felt charged, the air thick with unspoken words, yet somehow comforting. As the evening unfolded, their words brushed against the surface, a delicate balance of longing and restraint. Olivia sensed the change around her, a thrilling tension that ignited her heart. Lucas's gaze, once shyly turned away, now held her captive, his eyes deepening with an intensity that ignited a spark between them. She felt emboldened, her guard lowered by the gin, making her more open to the emotions she'd been holding back. As she leaned forward, her dress shifted subtly, drawing his gaze and revealing her vulnerability. "Is something catching your eye, Lucas?" she teased, her voice a tantalizing whisper. His cheeks burned, and he felt the walls closing in around him. "Elena," he whispered, his voice thick with longing, "please don't." Yet, she found herself unable to resist. As she stood, every step was a dance of intention, her fingers brushing the napkin with a teasing touch, igniting a spark of something unspoken between them. The air crackled with unspoken desire, the gin unraveling their restraint. When their eyes locked once more, the world around them faded, and there was no way to escape the pull between them. Olivia stepped closer, her heart racing as she leaned in, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. Their lips met in a moment of hesitation and urgency, caught between right and wrong. The kiss lingered, Elena's fingers holding on to him, the moment suspended in uncertainty and emotion. His hands wrapped around her waist, holding her tightly in a way that made her heart race and sent a thrill of danger coursing through her. In that moment, everything else disappeared, leaving only the heartbeat of our secret. They held onto each other in the quiet stillness of night, hearts racing with all that remained unspoken. Olivia felt the weight of the moment, a delicate shift that pulled her into uncharted territory, where every heartbeat echoed the thrill of the forbidden. She wanted to hold on to the memory, but knew some moments are best left unwritten. Lucas's heart raced, breath hitching, as he looked into her eyes, a forbidden thrill coursing through him. "I need to remember this," she whispered, her voice unwavering even as her heart raced. "Us, wild and lost in one another." They held each other in stillness, every breath filled with tension, questions, and unspoken truths. Their closeness pulsed with an intensity that felt both exhilarating and dangerous, a blend of longing and secrecy that words could never capture. Every glance, every touch drew them deeper into a world they knew they shouldn't explore. The air around them felt charged as they swayed together in a rhythm of silence and conflicted emotion. Olivia became entranced by Lucas's eyes, the universe shrinking to just the man who possessed her heart. Their breathing slowed. The fragile barrier between them trembled but held, suspended in a space of restraint and emotional depth. In the aftermath, they lay side by side in the dim light, breaths mingling in the charged silence. Olivia turned away slightly, her gaze lingering on the soft glow of the city beyond the window. Lucas turned to her, his eyes filled with a blend of wonder and trepidation. "Elena, what have we done?" he murmured, his fingers lingering on her cheek, the weight of their secret hanging between them. "We've truly felt something," she whispered, her voice tender. "What we shared was real, and I don't regret it." As they surrendered to stillness, a quiet understanding passed between them. The morning light illuminated everything, yet it only deepened the ache in her heart. Olivia gently eased away from Lucas, her heart aching as she tried not to disturb his peaceful slumber. In her office, she powered on her laptop, her fingers hovering above the keyboard, lost in thought. With a trembling breath, she closed the screen. No record would remain, just memory. She reached for her journal instead. But when she opened the drawer to retrieve it, a folded envelope slipped out. It was handwritten. Her name. Lucas's handwriting. She hadn't seen it before. She shouldn't have read it. But she did. Inside was a letter, dated months ago. "I don't know how to say this out loud, Elena. You're the calm in my chaos, the question I never dared ask. I'm sorry for seeing you. I'm even sorrier for needing you." Her breath caught. She pressed the paper to her chest, torn between sorrow and something dangerously close to love. In the kitchen, the rich aroma of brewing coffee wrapped around Lucas like a warm embrace, pulling him down the stairs with an unspoken promise of something more. His tousled hair and rumpled clothes stirred a deep yearning within Elena, a feeling both thrilling and uncertain. In that fleeting moment, their gazes locked, a quiet understanding of the uncharted path they now faced. With a flick of her wrist, she crafted cappuccinos, the steam curling like whispered secrets, and slid one across the island, their eyes meeting for a fleeting moment that felt electric. "Good morning," she whispered, her heart racing, a thrill of something unspoken hanging in the air between them. Lucas's fingers grazed hers while he took the cup, the fleeting touch igniting a spark that left her breathless. "Morning," he whispered, his eyes drifting down to the steaming cup, a hint of longing in his voice. They lingered in quiet tension, the granite island a silent wall that kept them apart. Olivia felt the weight of inevitability pressing down on her. She could no longer turn away. "We need to talk," she whispered, her heart racing as she placed her cup down, the air thick with unspoken tension. "Last night altered everything, Lucas. We can't act like it was just a fleeting moment." He met her gaze, a blend of fear and determination in his eyes. "I understand," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. "I can't pretend anymore. I'm all in, Elena, completely. But we have to be careful." She nodded, her heart racing at his sincerity. "We must tread lightly. This can't tear us apart." Their words lingered in the air, weaving through unspoken desires and the thrill of the unknown. They chose to hide their love, drawing invisible lines to shield those they cared for from the storm of their hearts. It was a delicate scheme, yet it ignited a flicker of hope in Elena's heart. As the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the city in a warm, golden light, they lingered on the balcony, fingers entwined, hearts racing with the thrill of their secret. A sudden knock echoed at the door. They froze. Lucas's fingers slipped from hers. The air went still. Elena's breath caught in her throat. She wasn't sure if it was fear or fate, but something was coming. Have you ever found yourself standing at the edge of a decision you were never supposed to make? Have you ever loved someone in silence, knowing it could never be named? If this story stirred something within you, pain, nostalgia, or the thrill of a forbidden truth, let it speak. Share your thoughts in the comments below. You never know who might feel less alone because of your voice. Subscribe to Veiled Pulse for more true stories that dare to ask the questions we're too afraid to say out loud. If this story touched you, like, and share. It helps us tell the stories that hide behind closed doors. We'll meet again. Some secrets were never meant to stay quiet.